I'm Will Greenwald, and this is Loot Drop on Geek.com. Square-Enix. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Final Fantasy XIII was terrible. Why is there no 7 remake? They're stupid to let Nintendo publish. Bravely Default not themselves. Why is the second Tomb Raider reboot game called Rise of the Tomb Raider? We're not talking about the games. They make action figures. Specifically, they make huge, detailed, badass Japanese action figures. Say what you will about Square Enix's decisions regarding video games, but its toy manufacturing division is pretty solid. We've looked at Good Smile's Figma and Bandai Tamashii Nation's SH Figuarts figures before, and now it's time to scale it up to Square Enix's Figuarts Kai series. Figuarts Kai figures are still super detailed and superposable, they're just bigger. And more expensive, but let's focus on the bigger for now. This is Deathstroke, Slade Wilson, the inspiration for Deadpool before Deadpool was turned into an actual different character, because he was just a complete Deathstroke ripoff when Rob Liefeld created him. Villain to the Teen Titans in the one cartoon and in the comics. There was only one cartoon, and the villain in Season 2 of The Arrow. And, in the cartoon, voiced by Ron freaking Perlman. Look at him! He's freaking badass. I think he's super badass because I know where he's coming from as a character, but even if you don't understand his status as one of the 4 greatest martial artists in the DC universe and a killing machine who can recover from any injury, again, he did that before Deadpool, just look at him and how much of a badass he looks. The unique black, gray, and orange color scheme, the multiple weapons, the 2-color mask that doubles as a sick eye patch, the determined glare, and the not quite Liefeld amount of buckles. He's Deathstroke the Terminator. That's actually his title, Deathstroke the Terminator. It's not like a nickname, it was actually his full name when he was introduced. Deathstroke the Terminator. As a figure, he is about twice the size of Figma Link and much taller than the Big Chap.
Big Chap.
He stands nearly a foot tall, and every inch of him is detailed. This isn't some polished pretty boy taking pot shots at targets from afar. Deadshot! He's been in fights and covered in scrapes on his armor to prove it. This is what's known as the secondary Boba Fett effect. The primary Boba Fett effect, of course, is that a character looks so super badass that everyone remembers him and forgets he did nothing and went out like a complete punk. Yeah, I said it. Boba Fett sucks. That's not what I'm talking about here. The secondary Boba Fett effect is the use of scrapes and dings in armor to give a character's look personality even when his face isn't shown at all. Deathstroke has this in spades. He's articulated to a ridiculous amount. I haven't counted all of the joints, but you have multiple points of articulation in the shoulders, elbows, knees, wrists, ankles, head, and feet. My favorite point of articulation is that mask ribbon bandana thing on a ball joint, so you can point it in different directions to look like wind is blowing dramatically any way you want it. That is awesome detail. He comes with a stand that is only theoretically articulated. Figma still beats Figuarts Kai in this respect with Link's awesome jumping and attacking like articulated lamp stand. I mean, he's been like this for months, and he's still good. He's mid-jump. Deathstroke stand is more of a rigid 2-part support that you can manually adjust by moving it to different pegs and setting it in different positions, but you can't actually change it while posing the figure itself. There's a small articulated arm on the back with a claw that goes around Deathstroke's waist, but it's super finicky. It's almost purely a size thing. Deathstroke is huge and weighs 3 or 4 times as much as Link easily, so you can't put him in these badass jumping poses. But you can still make him look super cool. You can pose him in a bunch of ways, just as long as he has support. He comes with plenty of accessories, like all good Japanese action figures. There's a staff, a sword, a rifle, a pistol, and different hands for holding different weapons. I especially love the sword because it looks like the HF blade from Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. The price is a sticking point. Figuarts Kai figures aren't exactly like artifact statues, there aren't hundreds and hundreds of dollars, but they're more expensive than Figma's or SH Figuarts figures. Figuarts. Still not sure how that's pronounced. If you want Deathstroke or a similar Figuarts Kai figure, you can expect to spend about $100, depending on if it's a variant or what it is, or if it's still available. But yeah, maybe $80 to $130. That's more than either of those. I still love Figma a bit more because of the great, way you can pose them in midair and the weapon effects. But they're 2 different tiers of collector's toys. There's action figure, and then there's action figure bordering on kind of a statue display piece. Depends on your taste, but hey, if you can import what you like from Japan, go for the big Square Enix figure statue or the smaller Good Smile Figma scene, diorama, tableau you can present. I'm Will Greenwald, and this is Loot Drop on Geek, your home for toys, collectibles, weird, geek, merchandising stuff.